Good morning. Welcome to Mullin It Over. This is episode 47 here on Tuesday, May 31st. Nate Mullins, Joey Krajewski. We got producer extraordinaire Greg Kinn manning the cameras and manning the computers and all the good stuff, keeping us on the air. And this morning we got a special guest. That's right, Tiffin Columbian head baseball coach Curt Mellott joining us on the program. Thanks for coming on with us, Coach.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Well, we had a couple of your players on last night. We talked a little bit of baseball last night, but I saved some of the juicy stuff for you, Coach, because, you guys have had a great season. And this is you've had a lot of time with this program. You've built the program, I'd say, from the ground up, from the youth levels. You've had your hand in all the different levels of baseball to help build this program to what it is. And now this is kind of like, reaping the rewards, of what you've sown over the years, and you're in this spot now, but you got to feel like job's not done. You got a great test in front of you this week. Talk about how you feel going into this.
Thanks for having me again, guys. Really appreciate it. For us, I think we feel like we've earned our right to get to this point, if that makes sense. Oh, sorry.
That's all good.
I feel like we've earned our right to get to this point. The kids have played exceptionally hard. We have a lot of, I'm not going to say it's not back and forth, but a lot of mutual respect for the Defiance program. Very good friends with both the head coach, the associate head coach. He's been a mentor to me in my life, and it just feels like this is the right opponent, if that makes sense. Like it all kind of lined up like this, and the kids are very excited for this opportunity, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, you can tell. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Last night, talking with Bryce and Braden, they're locked in. They're ready to go. They're loaded. And when I was talking with your son the other night, it seems like he's got this opponent locked in as well. Like he's had his focus on these guys. So talk about, has this been a season-long focus on Defiance? Like, because they've had that top spot. I know you guys are always gunning for that top spot. Is that kind of what you're aiming to be?
I wouldn't say it's that necessarily. I say for us, it's playing to the standard, and I think we'll talk a lot about we want to play to our standard and what we anticipate to be the best version of ourselves each and every day. And I know that's a lot of coach speak, but at the end of the day, we want to just give our best to be our best and to have an opportunity to represent our town and our community the best way possible, knowing full well that if we do that, these monsters, so to speak, are going to come. And Defiance is, if not one of the top programs in the state and even in the nation, they're mentioned because of the extreme work of Coach Held, the buy-in of their school, their community. They do what they do because of their values, too. It's not smoke and mirrors. They are just so well coached and versed in it. And I think our kids look at this as the benchmark to make for us. So we've been looking forward to this challenge, if it got to us at whatever the level was, if it's a regional or state level. And I think that is kind of the mountain that they're willing and wanting to climb for sure.
I love it. So this is kind of a litmus test matchup for
Correct.
you guys. It's testing your mettle to see where you guys are at.
Yep.
And, I've seen a lot of baseball this year. Mm-hmm. This is our first year covering baseball. And I'm telling you, from top to bottom, 1 through 9, starting pitching, relief pitching, you guys have got probably the most well-rounded squad that I've seen this year. And I'm looking forward to this Thursday. It's going to be a great matchup. Bowling Green?
Yeah, Bowling Green, Carter Park. So We're not at the university. The Division II's at Carter Park there, right off 75. So Tim Dunn Field. And the kids played there last year, so there's some history with that. They know where they're going. There's so much familiarity. The odd part is, even when we won the district championship, it was literally 1 year to the day. it was the exact same date a year ago that they've done this. So a lot of familiarity coming into this and a lot of expectations out of everyone. So
I've been able to cover a few of your guys' games this year. I think it's 7 now. 7 games we've been able to cover. And multiple games this year, I've seen you be involved in charitable causes.
Yeah.
You and your program, you like to be involved in different ways to help the community, help different families in the community. The strikeout cancer game was amazing. What you guys did with the chicken dinner, raising funds. Talk about your involvement with this program and how you like to not only just involve yourself as a coach, but also teach your guys that it's good to give back to the community.
Well, sure. And then again, our motto is to create great men of greater character. At the end of the day, we all know essentially, and it's hard to let everybody know, that wins and losses are fleeting. I mean, they're great. We all enjoy them. We all enjoy winning, but our true wins are always going to be when we can help the community out, when we can serve a bigger purpose. And our kids, they love that. So youth camps, we had the Daniel Wood Memorial, a huge part of what we do.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we had, this is year 13, I do believe, for Strikeout Cancer. So anytime we can give back, I guess for us and me personally, it's not about making a post on social media because of it, but we do it for the very purpose. I mean, we're not doing it for the social media, for the attention. If anything, personally, I don't like it, but we do it for the greater good, and we just think it just builds kids the right way. And this group especially, they've grown up with that, so it's a testament. They want to do it. They want to be serving at that. I mean, all of our kids, all of our varsity kids, gave multiple games at the Daniel Wood to make that happen because they know the importance of that scholarship fund and the importance of that family. So,
I mean, you want to talk about teaching your kids to do things the right way. One thing that I've noticed about you, and there's a couple other coaches that do this as well, but every one of your kids is involved in field cleanup after the game. I mean, from bringing out the tarp to, making sure everything's rigged and making sure, you cover up everything and make sure at the end of the day it looks cleaner than what you found it most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about the responsibility that you instill in these kids to just have a respect for the game.
Yeah, and again, that's just who we are as people. They know that we value it. They know the time and energy that we collectively put in, and we just want to give that time back for further generations to come. So we believe highly in that facet. If not, then I believe if we're not clean in the field, then we're kind of putting each other on a pedestal, and that's going to lead us to some bad pieces in places in life. So we just really think that serving each other is just the way to go. And we always talk about servant leadership and the importance of that.
Yeah, and you guys have a great group of leaders this year. Senior leadership is really strong with this group, but you do have a great group of underclassmen as well. Sure. Talk about these seniors kind of paving the way, but also, I mean, what have these kids been through over the last 4 years? These kids have seen it all. Yeah. So it almost feels like they're battle tested, and these underclassmen are looking to them. They're like, that's who I want to be. That's where I want to be. Yeah. The toughness that I see, the workman's mentality, the work gloves and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this group and what they've been through. Talk about that senior group.
Yeah. So have you ever seen a team that they all wear work gloves?
I've never seen it. That was the greatest thing.
Yeah. it caught on early on, and then once one did it, then another one did it. Then it was kind of a chain reaction. So they just, who they are as people, just, again, to me, it's more important than who they are as a baseball player. At the end of the day, I don't think we're going to be judged on how many hits we had in heaven or how many wins we had, but it's on those intangibles, and that's really truly what we try to practice each and every day. And we know that winning the game of life the best we can is going to be more important than that baseball game. Now, again, doesn't mean we want to lose a baseball game, but by exemplifying those traits in a baseball game, we just think it comes across so well. Now, I can't say enough about the older group and the way in which they lead, again, through example, through expectation. If I had a freshman son, I would want them around this group because there is no separator. In years past, with other programs, whatever you might say, at any high school in America, there's always that pecking order. I don't think you would find that if you came to our practice, you would see your most talented player working with your least talented player, and it's never a push from a coaches. It's the expectation amongst themselves that we've got to get, Johnny better because Johnny wants to be here. And that's what they want. They want that inclusion. They want those kids to be a part of it. They want to build it. And again, their biggest measurable goal, and it's really not measurable, they want to leave a legacy. And that's part of their legacy, helping others.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So one last question for me, and then I'll turn it over to Joey. And this one's, might be a little bit personal here. Feel free to answer it how you like, but man, your son was locked in the other day.
He was dealing. He was flat
that
out shoving.
Curveball was snapping.
Yeah.
And you talk about as a hitter, you're watching that leave his hand, and I'm watching it from the where we're at. I'm like, I wouldn't swing at it either. No. They're just spitting on it. But I'm thinking, are they spitting on it because they're not swinging at the curve, or are they spitting because they think it's going to be at their head when it leaves his hands?
Right.
Because, some of these pitches, they're just filthy.
Yeah, when he mentally gets locked, which is often, it's just he's hard to beat. So there's not a lot of, we do not talk much during the game, hardly at all. It's just we know where each other's at, and we let him go. He just does his thing. So he's been excellent. Curveball, slider were both good. Changeup was, I mean, he had everything working on Sunday. And there's games where you have your B stuff, even your C stuff, but even in those situations, he's always been able to battle and find ways to get it out. So great relationship with him and Braden. Those guys work well together. We definitely call pitches, but we also allow him to shake when he needs to shake to get something that he likes. And once we get to a point in the game, if things are going well, we just kind of know. Yeah. And he was beyond that point in the zone, and he was shoving. Yeah, he was shoving. Lord.
It was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
So what's cool is, we were talking with Bryce and Braden last night, and you talk about that pecking order.
Yeah.
That's obvious. That doesn't exist on this team, because the way Bryce was talking about your son and the fact that he's like, I said, as a pitcher, you go into second base. How does that mentality? How do you have to switch your mentality? He's like, honestly, it just gives me a front row seat to watch Carson pitch. I was like, man, they talk so highly of this kid, and it's just, it's fun to watch. So we're looking forward to it, and I can't wait for this Thursday. That one's going to be a great one, folks. You need to make the trip over to Bowling Green for that.
Yeah.
Joey, turn it over to you.
Yeah, so going along with your son, stepping away as a coach and talking about him more as a dad or as a fan, how cool has it been watching him be so dominant this season?
It's and again, I kind of have to put that in a different box, and I'll deal with that later if that makes sense.
Yep.
But I've never, and again, I've done this a long time, I've never had the capability of call any pitch, anytime, in any count, in any location, as much as we have. Now, he has never been, quote unquote, perfect, but to the point where we know if we want to go to a 2-0 changeup, a 3-1 curveball, we're going to do that, and we're going to execute it. And that in itself, as a coach, that makes me look really smart, and I'm not. So that makes things look really good. Yeah. And just having that execution and the belief out of all the guys that he will execute. So again, not to put pressure, it's how he can mentally get prepared, and he's better than anybody I've ever had. Period, bar none.
That's awesome. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's during this off season and stuff like that, like during them, because I coach football at Clemens, so I used to see him all the time up in the weight room. I was like, dude, who is this kid? And first of all, I was like, why is he not playing football? And then I talked to like the Rogos, and they're like, oh, that's Carson, really good baseball player and stuff like that. That kid, he works his tail off, and it's impressive to watch. And then after practice, we'd be driving by, and I see him with like 3 guys thrown on the football field, and just his work ethic that he's put in this offseason, it's been really cool to see him succeed the way he has, collect the accolades and stuff like that. But I'm excited to see you guys, keep this thing going, hopefully take on Defiance.
I appreciate that, absolutely.
So this year, last year you had Jaden Myers, All-Ohio.
Yeah.
This year, he's had, a great season this year as well.
Great season.
And you've had him pretty much shifting spots. He's been third base. He's been first base. You brought him in as a pitcher. I mean, talk about his impact this year, his senior season, and how much he's affected the team.
Yeah, Jaden's always been just a top line player, top line kid. He is a very passionate leader. He's going to be a little more fiery during the game, which is great. We have to have those balancing guys, if you will. Some are fiery, some are not. But he knew kind of early on his best role this year was going to be at first base. Like it just kind of fit our personnel better. And not only did he embrace it, he's just really, he's one of the top first basemen around. And what he's given to us from a defensive perspective over there, picking balls, keeping balls in front for the most part. And then offensively, we just know what he brings to the table. He's tough to get out. He just does things so well at the plate, and having him in the middle of the order, just able to keep that extension piece going, just gives you a great peace of mind. And great kid, great family, just great kid. Absolutely.
I was reading off his stats during the game the other day, and I got to his OPS. I'm like, wow. It's just, it's crazy the plate discipline that he has. Mm-hmm. In any count, in any situation, he can come through for you. Yeah. Another guy that really, this year, you talk about the comeback and the perseverance for this kid, Preston Keckler.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Yeah.
kid, the other night when we were there, the other day, I say night,
Sure.
but I'm always saying night. The other day when we were there watching you guys at Bluffton, that kid really stands out to me, And honestly, if it hadn't have been for that 0 on the scoreboard, he might have been the player of the game because he had an outstanding game, 3 for 3, 4 RBIs. And this isn't the first game that he's had this much of an impact. I mean, he came through a couple times this year with game-winning hits. Talk about his comeback and just how much it means to the rest of the team to have him out there contributing.
Yeah, so truly, he is the wild card. So this winter, when
He's the Charlie.
he is. When he showed up to workouts, I said, Keck, I said, are you really interested in this? And again, that wasn't a question of, that was not a put down, but he'd been out of baseball for 4 years, and baseball, and like some other sports, and again, no offense to some others, in some sports have to run really fast in a straight line. Well, maybe I can emulate that if I'm, I haven't done it for a few years, but it's still going to be hard. Baseball and any kind of sport with the hand-eye coordination that's needed, and not seen live pitching since he's been 14 years old.
Yeah.
Not doing anything from a baseball sense in the summer. That surprised me. And then to top it off, not a ton of people know he was always an infielder. He never played the outfield.
Wow.
And that's what he grew up doing. But seeing kind of where we were at, he knew a need could be potentially in the outfield. And right away, day one as a coach, I want to be an outfielder. I said, cool, let's give this a go. And during workouts, he was there. He was doing his thing, kind of getting back in the groove. And again, until you get outside, until you can kind of see live ball scenarios, you don't really know. Hitting in the cage is great, but it's not the end-all, be-all. So when he got outside and started just continually barrel balls, let's give this a shot. Let's kind of play this out. Let's see where we're at. And then, again, as all coaches do, you kind of see where you're at and you move forward with, how things are going. And he's never given us a reason not to keep him in the lineup. He's always given us a reason to play him, and he's always, approaching things in the way which he's playing with house money. He's like, well, what the heck, I've gone this far.
Right.
I have no fear. I'm just going to play because why not? I don't have this pressure on me. This is fun. And that's what we want everybody to, but obviously his scenario is a little different. The way in which he suffered that leg fracture to come back, he's playing with a metal rod in his leg, and, he'll have it the rest of his life.
That's crazy.
And, the fact that he can do what he does, he runs so well, you don't notice any of those things
Really
about
don't.
his game. And, there's been some learning curves, and he'll be the first to tell you that, but he is really taking those learning curves, and he's gotten better. And it's a godsend to have him at the bottom of the lineup to turn things over. So he's done really well.
For sure. All right, Coach. I don't want to keep you too long because you got some errands to run this morning. So, but I do want to give you an opportunity to kind of. You've got the floor here. So, anything you want to talk about? Obviously, you want to get people over to Bowling Green this Thursday.
If people come to BG, I think you're going to see two of the top programs in the Division II right now. It's a tremendous regional, tremendous opportunity for our community to represent. And we love and cherish all the support that we get. Again, can't say enough good things about our kids and obviously the support we've had up to this point. Really want to thank you guys for doing what you do, because there's a lot of family of mine that can't come to games. So this has been awesome for them to see things that are homebound and that are states and states away. It's been awesome. But yeah, kids are excited. We love the opportunity. It's all we've said, just give us a shot. And
That's right.
That's where we're at right now. We want to have that shot to do well, and looking forward to Thursday for sure.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we really appreciate having you on once again. Thanks for your time. Once again, Tiffin Columbian head baseball coach Curt Mellott joining us here on Mullin It Over. We're going to step aside, take a short time out, but we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports here, the pulse of the Buckeye State. All right. Welcome back to Mullin It Over here on Tuesday, May 31st. Great interview with Coach Curt Mellott. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Joey, I mean, sitting under the learning tree with Coach. That was great.
That's freaking awesome. I mean, obviously we know Coach Coleman. I've known of Coach Mellott for a little bit, but finally sitting down and getting to talk to him, you can see why after knowing the two coaches, you see why Tiffin has 2 baseball teams in the regional tournament right now. I mean, it makes total sense. Those 2 guys, especially Coach Mellott coming in here and having a chit-chat with us, that's awesome. And the values he preaches and the way those guys practice, I know a bunch of the kids from football and stuff like that, but what he preaches and stuff like that is just awesome. I mean, you can't ask for more from the city of Tiffin.
Yeah. So thanks again to Coach Curt Mellott. I tried to say Coach and Curt at the same time.
I do that all the time, man.
Thanks again for coming on with us, Coach Mellott. We appreciate your time because he said, like, I have some errands to run between 8 and 11. Is any time work? I'm like, if you got time, stop in for a little short interview. That'd be great. So he made some things work for us. We really appreciate that. Once again, let's get started with the day here. As how we normally get started, we go to the Advertiser Tribune. We look at the front page of the paper. But first, before we do that, let's take a look at the weather because as I came in here today, we get the air conditioner running. So you might hear a little hum in the background.
Beautiful.
I'm telling you, it is gorgeous outside. 79 right now. It's going to get up to 91 at some point today. So you're going to have to get out there and find something to do and enjoy yourselves, folks. I know most of you got to go back to work today, you know, the long Memorial Day weekend. You got the weekend hangover, the holiday hangover, whatever you want to call. But go to work and then go find something to do. Don't just go home and, you know, get back to your normal whatever. Find something to do. Go outside, go fishing, or maybe have a campfire or something.
I tell you, I think the lake's calling my name today.
Oh, the lake. Man, I haven't been up there yet this year. That sounds like a plan. Maybe this weekend. That's what I'll do.
Let's move.
Well, never mind. My son's graduation's party this Sunday.
You'll be at a lake. Just
no lake.
I will be at a lake though.
Yeah,
it's
Morrison
just a man-made lake. It's Morrison Lake. So once again, beautiful day in Tiffin and Seneca County. Get out there and enjoy yourselves. So let's go to the front page of the paper, the Advertiser Tribune. I'm giving them a lot of free advertising here. You know that?
Got to start charging them.
I think I'm going to have to get with somebody at the Advertiser and say, hey, start a little kickback maybe, you know?
Right.
A little kickback would be nice. Maybe a little ad in the newspaper in exchange, you know? We do exchange services here. I think that would be pretty cool. But once again, headlines with the Advertiser. Let's take a look at the front page of the paper. Memorial Day in Tiffin. As you and I both know, we were, you know, when we left yesterday, the Memorial Day parade was in full swing.
Yeah, literally right in the middle.
I mean, as we were leaving the studio, we're walking through the parade. Greggy and I had to literally walk past the Shriners on their motorcycles. After they went past and the little bus went past, we had a nice little gap in between them and the Columbia Marching Band where we were like right across the street.
I thought they were going to run us down for a minute.
But that was a great parade. It always is. And everybody's out in full force. What I love to see is the little kids, the really little kids
with
out
the
there
bags.
waving their flags and waving at everybody. And I have a third-floor apartment in downtown, so we always get a front row view and a really nice overhead view of not just the parade, but also I like to people watch.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So being in that third-floor apartment, it gives you a different perspective. You're looking, and I'm watching all these kids, and they're just having a blast, man. There's little boys that are waving at all the fire trucks, pulling their horns. Come on, let's go. My cat did not like that whatsoever. She hated the sirens and the horns and all that. She was freaking out. But, man, what a great day in Tiffin. Beautiful Memorial Day. Beautiful weather.
Oh, my gosh. It was awesome.
Great day. What'd you do?
I played around of golf yesterday.
And you came in, did a
Yep.
little work with us?
Yep. Yeah. I was.
Got some interviews in. That was nice.
It was a busy day yesterday. I mean, I had football in the morning, came here, did the morning show yesterday, played around the golf, came back, did another podcast last night, then went to work.
And then went to work.
Yeah.
Wow. So you went to work.
Yeah.
Phew. Hey, man. I'm glad you're on board, though. That was fun. Great day
It was a great time.
yesterday and a great interview this morning. But let's continue on with the headlines here. So Memorial Day in Tiffin, right there. Great pictures by the Advertiser. There's a couple things here that they kind of catch my eye right off the bat. You talk about, all right, so this is taking forever to load here. Columbian placing second and third at business competition. 2 teams from Tiffin Columbian High School's business department placed at the top of the National Titan Challenge sponsored by Junior Achievement USA. Now, this is something that, honestly, we do pay a lot of attention to sports here because it's in the name, Heart of Ohio Sports. But if there's an opportunity to give recognition to local students, I want to take that opportunity.
Yeah, of course.
So this is a great achievement by these young students. 2 teams from Tiffin Columbian. There was one that placed second and one that placed third. The first team, go ahead.
So say the Tragic Tornadoes.
The
what a
Tragic
name.
Tornadoes. I was just about to get to that. Comprised of sophomore Alex Bupp and juniors Zach Siebenaller and Maddox Simcoe. They placed second. And then the second team, Tiffin Moneymakers.
There we go.
Cha-ching.
We need to get maybe a little internship opportunity here. I like these names already.
Cha-ching.
So Tiffin Moneymakers was comprised of seniors Dawson Daly, Andrew Engel, and Maddox Simcoe. So Maddox Simcoe on both teams?
Crazy.
That's crazy. I don't know if they got those names right. Maybe not.
Nah, they must have messed something up.
I think they messed something up there. But nevertheless, if you want to make a redaction, you want to tell us who the other student was, because I don't think Maddox was in both pictures here. It definitely was 3 different students in both pictures. So I think there might have been a mess up there. Just my assumption.
Looks like Maddox just got some extra love right there.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra love.
I mean, it's even listed that way in the story, too. So
Yeah, so
There's a
I'm not
mix-up
sure.
somewhere
Maybe
there.
he was. If he was, wow, that's
impressive.
Impressive. But either way, I mean, hats off to these students. This is a great achievement, and we want to give attention to these students for what they were able to accomplish. Because, like I said, we're paying a lot of attention to sports because of the high school baseball teams in this town. Yeah. Everybody's got baseball fever right now, you know.
Everybody.
But when there's an achievement that needs to be recognized, we want to do that as well. So once again, hats off to these 6 young gentlemen, or 5 if it was Maddox, on both.
But I want to know who's in the picture.
Yeah, because there's 2 pictures. One has Maddox in it. Obviously, I know who Maddox is. The other one does not. There's 3 students in each picture. I just want to know what's going on here. Maybe Maddox is doing a shape-shifting impression here. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure things out here. But either ways, there's one other headline here, and I just want to touch on it because I try to stay away from controversial stuff. But this one just kind of, I don't know how to feel about it. The FDA seeks to ban menthol cigarettes.
That's interesting.
This is a little hot button topic we can just take a small moment to talk about. Why do you think this is?
My guess is menthol. My guess would probably be because of vapes. That would be my only guess. I mean, so if you're going to ban menthol, why not just ban all cigarettes then? What's the difference between menthol?
I think they've tried that before. I think they tried to ban all the flavored vapes.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. They found loopholes and ways around it, and I think this might be the precursor possible. I'm just assuming here. I didn't read the article. I didn't read it. I'm just reading the headline and then talking about it.
Yeah.
So that's just that's a bad practice, honestly.
Right.
But
it's fun, though.
just my assumption here, maybe they're going to take that ban of menthol cigarettes and then take it into saying, okay, we banned that flavor. Now we can ban all flavors, because maybe they tried to ban the flavors before and somebody was like, well, you got menthol. So you can't ban all flavors if you're going to leave menthol. So maybe they're like, all right, well, now we're going to ban this. And then
there's just so much money to be made in the industry that I don't see how they'll ever get.
Yeah, I feel like the big cigarette companies have they're not like big pharma, but it's like the big soda companies. They have so much pull, and they've had it's not like they're a new thing, cigarettes have been around for so long. They have so much money. I'm sure they have those lobbyists.
Tobacco built this country.
Yeah, I'm sure they have.
Beginning.
Exactly. I'm sure they have those lobbyists in Washington. I can't see a world where there's not cigarettes sold in a gas station.
You talk about Tobacco Road and all of the different, tobacco farms that are in, the Carolinas and all that.
It's
all
crazy.
Those areas. I mean, it's an industry, and I understand its place in the economy. But having been a smoker for over 15 years and having kicked the habit almost 10 years ago now, June 23rd, I think, will be 9 years.
Dang.
So it's closing in on 9 years that I've been smoke-free.
That's crazy.
And I was a pack and a half a day smoker. I have an addictive personality, so that's why I try to stay away from addictive substances. Yeah. So when I quit smoking, it was a monumental achievement for me. It still is. Like, it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. But I also know the pull and the impact that the tobacco and that industry has on the youth, because for whatever reason, you don't see kids smoking as much now. You see them all vaping. And
it's just easier.
Honestly, we don't know enough about that to really know whether it's better. You know, there's just not enough research. Anyways, that's just a long subject. We can spend hours talking about it. I just thought that was interesting. FDA banning menthol cigarettes. There's got to be an underlying reason there, and maybe that's a topic for a podcast, because my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat.
I was about to say Spin Zone. Do you think they put out the headline of banning them to raise it, to like boost the sales, boost the prices and stuff like that?
That could be part of it. Yeah, absolutely. I also think that the government does I won't say a good job. They really try to monitor and protect the American health for whatever reason, and they try to make decisions for you. They say, okay, well, this is bad, so we're just going to take this away. You shouldn't have this. This is bad, you're just going to take this away. You shouldn't have this. And menthol cigarettes are one of those things where it disproportionately affects one segment of the population, and I really think that there might be something to that.
That could also be true.
Once again, that's a segment for maybe a potential podcast down the road, but...
Yeah, a little bit more research we could do into it and talk about it. So
I'll just leave it at that. That's all I'll say. So let's talk about weird news.
Let's get into it.
We did headlines. There's no community calendar because the day after Memorial Day, everybody's got the holiday hangover, so there's really not much to do. But there's a couple things that I saw on there, but it's not really anything to talk about. So once again, if you really want to know what's going on, get outside. Find something to do.
Do something. Be active.
Something. If you can't find something, then do something.
Mm-hmm. Find a hobby.
Exactly. Let's talk about weird news. I did have just a couple topics that we can just kind of talk about a little bit here before we wrap things up. The first one that caught my eye, now I go to Reddit for all my weird news. This is offbeat for Reddit, okay? And when I look for news, a lot of times I look for stuff. I don't really like talking about the hot button topics or the controversial topics. I like to just funny or
fun stuff,
weird or whatever. This is pretty controversial. There's a lot of people upset. Let's just say that. Man disguised as an old woman attacks Mona Lisa with cake. You said you'd heard about this.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter yesterday.
So this happened on May 29th. This was over the weekend, and I don't understand the thought process here. Guy dressed up as an old lady. He jumped out of a wheelchair, and then he attempted to smash the bulletproof glass of the Mona Lisa before smearing cake on the glass.
Yeah, that sounds like a crazy person. I mean,
what does the cake have anything to do with it?
And why would you dress up as an old lady? And why would you be in a wheelchair? Wouldn't you want to be like, I don't know. Wouldn't you want to I don't know. That's the thing. Like, why would you want to be in a wheelchair? Don't you want to
You're trying to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to figure it out.
It's like, why wouldn't you just?
If it's me, I'm gonna have running shoes on to get out of there as quick as possible. Because the Mona Lisa, that's a world-renowned painting.
Yeah.
It's got bulletproof glass in front of it for a reason. And then the crazy part, he tried to smash it, right? So okay.
Bulletproof glass.
Yeah. Probably not gonna smash that with virtually anything. So you're taking an L right there. Then you just rub cake on it. What does that do besides make you look like a dummy?
It says it's unclear what charges, if any, the man behind the stunt will face.
Yeah, it's what do we do?
What is anybody going to do about it?
You see, it says here that
you can't do that, but there's no law to say you can't do that.
Right.
The reason they have the glass there, like you guys were talking about, it says in 1956, the painting was damaged by 2 attacks, one with acid, another one with a rock chipping of speck of pigment off the portrait.
What?
Yeah, so it has been attacked before.
So that's why they had to put it behind bulletproof glass.
So people were messing with it. And wait, what was it? Way back 56? Is that what it is?
56. 2 different attacks. So somebody tried to attack it with acid and a rock.
What What's
What are
wrong
you
with
throwing a
people?
rock at the Mona Lisa for? Why are you so mad at a painting?
I don't understand why you'd want to destroy art.
Maybe if somebody's just looking for like their 15 minutes of fame, or are they like trying to get their national or Nicolas Cage on and like National Treasure and think there's a hidden secret behind it?
Listen to this. This is his excuse. He's an environmental protester. Quote, think about the earth. There are people who are destroying the earth. Think about it. All the artists tell you to think about the earth. All the artists think about the earth. That's why I did this. Think about the planet, shouted the disguised man as he was just escorted out of the museum by security. So, think about the earth, people. Smash the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Smear cake on the Mona Lisa. Think about the earth.
Certified crazy
So
person.
this video is him yelling that stuff that I have here.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see this here. Wow.
So did the guards, when they were cleaning off the cake, did they try any of it? Was it good? Was the cake good? Did it taste
I'd
good? What
believe
kind
it
of
was.
cake was it? Was it... Greggy, you say you have footage of the cake.
I showed it here. We'll go back again.
Was it vanilla cake? Chocolate cake?
It looks like.
Would you spend a lot of money on the cake?
It looks like white cake.
it's the
here.
Mona
I mean, if
Lisa.
you're just going to smash it,
But it's
why
Mona
would
Lisa.
you? But,
It's Mona Lisa.
yeah, you might want to present the cake as like, hey, this is a nice
Would you,
present.
go, would you go ice cream cake or regular cake? Or cookie cake?
Oh.
No, cookie cake wouldn't stick. You'd probably have to go like, regular cake.
I'm just going regular cake. Honestly, you know what? If you're really like smart, you would go tactile and go cupcake.
Interesting. And
You could
throw
throw a
it.
couple.
Throw it.
I mean,
Or
come on.
slingshot it.
That makes the most sense.
That's like Bart Simpson style right there.
yeah, just a slingshot.
Just make like a smiley face of like cupcakes around it.
It's a new form of art.
Would you draw like? I feel like I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Hurt my brain.
We're moving on. Trying to make sense of this is like,
Go
I
ahead
don't
and
know.
go ahead and like and comment, folks, and tell us how you would deface the Mona Lisa.
Absolutely. I want to know if you were going to attack the Mona Lisa, how would you do it? Would you do it with cake? A slingshot? Cupcake? What are we doing here, folks?
Can't use any bullets. Bulletproof
No
glass,
bullets.
so.
No weapons of any kind. We're just talking food. What kind of food would you use to attack the Mona Lisa?
If you wanted us to think about the earth,
Oh, food.
pizza. I don't know why. I just want to throw a pizza. At it.
Pizza?
Watch it hit and slide down.
Bunch of hot dogs.
Meatballs.
Oh, meatballs. Yeah. What, dude? Can you imagine throwing a meatball like?
I think you'd
I mean,
probably
at a
startle
wall,
people.
but like the Mona Lisa in general, just watching it.
Excuse me, what's your spaghetti policy here?
Dude, if I was standing there staring
Or
at the Mona
fried eggs,
Lisa,
just watching the yolk get all over it.
yeah, you throw a meatball and that thing thuds off the glass, I was like, what?
All right, so moving on. You want to know how to get people to take the vaccine? If you're really worried about it, just look at Kim Jong-un,
He's got
for
it.
example.
He's got it down, man.
North Korea is calling its COVID vaccines, quote, an immortal potion of love from Kim Jong-un.
Sign me up.
Wow. So, yeah.
Dude, I love this picture. That they look at how excited everybody looks.
Oh, they all are. It's like they
Like,
see God
yeah.
when they see this guy.
Oh, you know
I'm
that
serious.
that's
Oh
got
my
to be
God,
staged.
yes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, have you ever seen, they've done like behind the scenes documentaries where people go into North Korea and they get in and they talk with these people, and it's just like a desolate wasteland. They can't have electricity during certain hours of the day. They can only eat rationed food. I mean, it's just,
Hey. You better watch how you're talking. They're not going to air this in North Korea if you talk.
all right. Fair enough. So they've finally begun their vaccination program. They're calling it the COVID-19 Immortal Potion of Love campaign. And the vaccines are so far reserved for only soldiers working on national construction projects. That's right. That's
Interesting.
so I just don't understand the logic here, because if you want these people to take a vaccine and you are in a dictatorship, just make them take the vaccine. What do you need to call it anything for? Just do it. I mean, what do they have a choice? Oh, if you don't, you die. Okay.
I don't even want to begin.
Pretty simple rules, honestly. But my thing is like, if people or if it's like limited amount of people are allowed in and out of North Korea, couldn't you just like test them so the coronavirus wouldn't spread there? So what do you need the vaccine for?
They're not even vaccines that they created either. They're vaccines from China.
Huh. Yeah.
Well, they're not creating a whole lot there anyways. So.
No, I mean, if I was a dictator, I'd probably give it a weird name too. I can't lie.
I was gonna say you're trying to understand the thought process. Of,
Yeah, I mean, if you're Kim Jong Un, you probably have like, there's nothing else more fun to do is just name things fun stuff.
Yeah, he probably woke up one day. He just woke up one day and was like, "This would be fun today." Tell him it's a love potion.
It's a love potion.
You think
Speaking of love potion, that leads me to my next topic. More weird news. So, do you want to know how I know? Well, I don't know, but do you want to know how some people know that we're in a recession? Well, strippers can forecast the market better than any of your finance people. Just ask them. I'm serious. So, someone explained, a Twitter user, that, quote, the strip club is sadly a leading indicator, and I could promise y'all we're in a recession. It's empty. That's right. You're seeing a lot less people in strip clubs right now, and that is a pretty good indicator that we're in a recession right now.
You don't got money to waste.
Yeah.
I mean, either you're going to get a lap dance or you're going to get an extra quarter tank of gas. You get that VIP or you get some groceries.
That might be tough for some guys. That might be tough.
Those are hard choices to make. I mean,
with COVID and everything, there's some lonely dudes out there. You never know.
I'm just saying, that's pretty telltale sign right there. And when the pawn shop is booming, that's when you know we're in a recession. Right now, if you're a pawn shop owner, you're loving life.
Yeah. Do you think what do you think the strippers blame? You think they blame Biden?
Everybody blames Biden. Absolutely. Why? Why wouldn't you?
Strippers.
He's the guy in the chair.
Are we going to start seeing?
They did it to Trump when he was in office. They did it to Obama.
They do it to
did
everybody.
Bush. They do it to everybody. They're just a puppet. I mean, it's funny that everybody thinks one guy controls everything. I mean, does he have some control? He has influence for sure, but
it's really just his face. That
the gas thing makes me so fun. It makes me laugh because it's like the gas is almost $10 a gallon in France right now. Like they sell it by the liter, and
not a liter of cola.
I'm sure over there they're saying, screw Biden, Biden, these gas prices. No, it's right now what you're seeing is a shift from fossil fuels into clean energy, and you're seeing the fossil fuel industry fight back because you have a reliance on fossil fuels. There's no doubt about that. You need them.
Yeah, I mean, there's still so many more gas-powered, diesel-powered cars than electric cars. It's to think that, like, I think what they say, like 2 or 3 years ago, that in the next 10, 15 years, everybody's going to have an electric car is absolutely asinine to think about.
And what you're thinking is now you're converting that energy into coal or whatever they use, natural gas to, I'm pretty sure it's coal they use to produce electricity. They burn
I think so.
fossil fuels to create electricity. That's how it happens. It doesn't happen from the sun as much as it does, or the wind as much as it does from burning fossil fuels. That's where they get the majority of the electricity. They can't harvest and store electricity as efficiently with solar and wind yet. It's getting there. Solar power is getting better. Wind power is getting better, but they're not anywhere near where they need to be able to support the entire infrastructure grid with just green energy. It's just not there yet.
I tell you this much,
Yeah,
Nate.
I have no clue. I'm a very dumb person. I have no clue about that. So
What's that, Greg?
I was going to say, regardless of how I feel about political issues, one thing that always cracks me up is these stupid gas pump stickers that say, I did that.
Well,
With the
I mean,
Biden
these
on
are
it.
hilarious.
Dude, I don't even care.
it's kind of funny.
It makes me laugh every time I pull up to a gas pump and I see one that's half scratched off where you can tell the worker went out there and they were like, oh my God, we got to take another one of these off the pump again.
It's just hilarious. I think it's funny.
It's hilarious.
I have no
It's 'cause
I
we
have
have
no
a sense
dog
of
in the
humor.
fight.
We have a sense of humor. So
I thought they were both old senile idiots that had no business being president. And I just thought that, they voted for the guy that wasn't tweeting a bunch of nonsense. And to me, that's not exactly a great way to vote. You want to make sure you're voting for policy and whatever.
Who you
We're not
believe
getting into
in as
this.
a person.
We're not doing
Yeah,
this.
no.
We're not doing this. Let's move on. All right. So Taco Bell.
Move from strippers.
Taco Bell.
Went from strippers to Taco
We're
Bell.
talking about the economy, and then we start getting into this.
No.
All right,
It's
we're
like
done.
we went from
We're done. I love how this happens. It goes from this to this to this, and now we're here, and I hate that. I'm sorry. My apologies, folks.
strippers to Taco Bell, like a fine Saturday night.
That's right. So from strippers to Taco Bell, that's exactly how your Saturday night is ending on a positive note. You know? Because, I mean, now that you're done at the strip club, who cares if you shit your pants, you know? Like,
Yeah, right. I mean, you're going home.
anyway, so Taco Bell. Everybody's really excited about the Mexican pizza coming back, right? Mm-hmm. Were you excited?
See, now you're asking the wrong person because...
You're not a Taco Bell guy?
Oh, no, I love Taco Bell. But once I find a thing at a fast food place, I get that thing until I don't like that thing. I get the same order from Taco Bell every single time.
All right, let's hear your go-to.
Chicken quesadilla meal, extra chicken, extra creamy jalapeno sauce, soft taco, Baja Blast, and then the new grilled chicken Chipotle burritos.
Ooh.
Every time. It's
All
like,
right, bang, bang,
it's
bang,
like 10
bang.
it's like
He's
it's 10.56 with tax.
That's a veteran's order. He knows the exact price. I love it.
He's got the change ready in the center console, just ready to
Oh,
roll.
yeah. He's got the 56 cents on.
It is so
It's
clutch.
on lock. It's ready to go.
Paying with exact change is so clutch. Not having to break the extra dollar.
Well, and I love the look you get from the people that take your
They're
money.
so
like,
happy.
really?
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything.
It's like they just saw a unicorn. You don't need to hand me anything. I just give you it and I drive.
Or when you hand, your total's $5.50 some cents, and you hand the cashier a 10 with the 50 some cents, and she still hands you back 5 ones. What are we doing?
Probably fighting.
I'm just. Anyways, let's talk about this Mexican pizza. So,
I was gonna say.
we're rambling this morning.
Well, let's talk about how many times we get ripped off by cashiers.
So everybody was really excited when they brought the Mexican pizza back. So much so that it sold out like everywhere in the United States. There was a Mexican pizza shortage. Well, now Taco Bell's coming out and they're saying, you know what, guys? There's a great demand for this. And we've realized that. And so now we're going to take it off the menu. That's right. They're taking it off the menu.
Why did they do
Just
this?
as quickly as they added it back, your beloved Mexican pizza could soon be disappearing off of the menu. So you better get out there and get yours if it's available at your Taco Bell anyways.
Probably not. The Taco Bell went from live mas to no mas.
They're saying that because it was so popular, there was a shortage in some of the ingredients that they needed for it. So now they're taking it off the menu and they're going to re-add it back later this year. So it's like nacho fries. They're going to give it and then take it away. Give it and then take it away. Did you ever get into the nacho fry thing?
Yep. You brought that up. When they do have nacho fries, I get the nacho fries instead of the burrito.
Okay.
And then
I want to make that clear. Nacho fries.
Gotta make that clear.
It
brings down the total.
Well, here's the real question. Yeah, what's your total then?
Well, the grilled chicken burrito is only $2, so I think I'd save like the 56 cents. I think it's like $9.94 or something like that.
All right.
But I mean, why is I feel like, okay, so now the Taco Bell CEO, whoever makes the decisions, they're kind of in a Kim Jong-un situation. They're just doing whatever they want.
Exactly.
I mean, it'd be a blast, but I mean, why play with people's hearts?
They're gonna bring it back out as the love potion pizza.
This makes so much sense now.
A lot of things Taco Bell does, I'm like, what are we doing?
They're still gonna get my money though.
But
I love how they just have like 5 ingredients that they slap together in different ways, and you're like, oh, I love that. I gotta have all that.
well, and think about it. The same people that own Taco Bell also own Pizza Hut and KFC.
What?
Yeah, man. You ever seen
all
those mixed
owned by the
stores?
same company. They all get their food from their food sources all come from the same distribution company, and they run all 3 restaurants through the same company. So it's like all of the stoner meals that you can think of all come from the same 3 companies, and they're all owned by each other. So that makes sense, I mean,
Interesting.
Taco Bell is like your late night destination. KFC, like you said, Greg, they pretty much take the same 10 ingredients and make their entire menu out of it. And then Pizza Hut, Pizza Hut is Pizza Hut.
I'm not a big Pizza Hut guy.
I'm not a big Pizza Hut guy either.
I am just
And I'm
because
not a big KFC person, although I will give them credit. I do really, really like their spicy chicken sandwich.
The famous bowl.
Famous bowl.
Oh,
That changed the game.
dude.
That changed the game.
Mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, cheese.
Popcorn chicken.
Popcorn chicken.
what more can you
always
ask
get
for?
an extra popcorn chicken. When I get that, I'll say, all right, I need a famous
Bro, that's
bowl,
so smart.
but a
Yeah.
side of popcorn chicken. Because I feel like they give you like 10 pieces of chicken. I'm like, nah, just dump that whole thing in there, stir it around. Oh, it's so good.
This is what I mean when I say
I'm hungry.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
what I
I'm
mean when I
hungry.
say I'm a dumb
Yep.
person. I never once thought about that.
All right, guys, it is like 9:45 here. We're pushing the limits here with this one. I mean,
I could
we're
keep going for
We're
hours.
about an hour in now. Great interview with Coach Mellott. Thanks for coming on with me again, Joey. Appreciate
problem,
your
dog.
time, man. Greg, as always appreciate your efforts and keeping us on the air, keeping us locked in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And you need to stay locked in because we got another episode coming to you live from Studio Square tomorrow morning. We have Coach Scott Donaldson coming up on Thursday, and I'm going to try to get some kind of a Columbian senior on over the next couple of days. So if you've got a Columbian senior
Heck yeah.
baseball player and he wants to come on the program and get an interview, please reach out, send us a message on Facebook or on YouTube. Reach out. However you need to reach out, just make sure we know that you have an athlete that wants some recognition or you think deserves some recognition because we'd love to have him on for an interview here on Mullin It Over. Once again, thanks for coming on with me,
Thank you.
guys. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time, you've been watching Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Have a great day, everybody.